EPN Daily English News Service brought to you by Arakan Network today, Wednesday 16th of November 2016. I'm your host, Sajid Zara. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Delegates of Arakan State Advisory Panel arrive in Sittwe. 86 killed in fighting, says by Myanmar Army. The Arakan State Advisory Panel formed by Aung San Suu Kyi has arrived in Sittwe today, 15th November 2016 at around 12:45 p.m. local time. According to our correspondent report, 7 members from 9 members Advisory Commission for Arakan State have flown from Naypyidaw and landed at the Sittwe airport of Arakan State at about 12:45 p.m. Today, the 9 members Advisory Commission headed by the former UN Secretary General Mr. Kofi Annan was formed by Aung San Suu Kyi this year to work for the restoration of peace, stability and development of the conflict-thrown and undeveloped Arakan State. The Advisory Commission would also work for the peaceful coexistence of Arakan and Rohingya minorities in Arakan State. Tension flared off in Mangdor North and South following the violent attack on the 3 Myanmar border guard police outposts by Rohingya self-defender and fighter for the right on the last 9th October 2016. Following the assault, Myanmar government forces have torched thousands of horses, killed hundreds of innocent civilians, arrested more hundreds and raped dozens of women in various areas of Mangdor. Amid the continuous violence of government forces against the Rohingya people, the representative from United Nations and ambassadors from powerful countries of the world, including America, visited the affected areas and investigated into the issues. However, violence of Myanmar government forces has been continued against the innocent Rohingya civilians on the plea of conducting clearance operation against the Rohingya self-defenders and fighters for the right in the villages in which they committed enormous crimes against the Rohingya Muslims, including rape on women and genocide on the civilian. Despite the visit of the team on 11th November 2016 in the early morning, the Myanmar army entered Borgosville under the pretext of inquiry and started committing rape against women by driving out the male members of the community from their houses. Being unbearable to see the sexual abuses against women, the villagers stood and protested against the inhuman and sexual violence on the women. Centering the protest by the villagers, a clash was taken place between the forces and the Rohingya villagers who were equipped with sticks, spears and knives that left an army officer dead and several others injured from both parties. Following the clash on 11th November 2016, Myanmar armies conducted airstrikes and launched attacks on the civilians in many villages of Mangdor North, leaving dozens of civilians dead, torching thousands of houses and arrested nearly 50 innocent persons. Due to the massive destruction of houses and properties and the attacks of armies, more than 15,000 people forced to become homeless and pass the night and days under open sky, starving for days. Therefore, at least 7 members except Mr. Annan from 9 members Advisory Commission Arakan State has landed at the Sittwe airport from Naypyidaw today, who were supposed to arrive early on 16th November 2016 in the violence-affected areas of Rohingya in Mangdor to see the situation and investigate into the matters where dozens of innocent Rohingya civilians lost their lives, houses torched and arrested, many including rape and on women, says our correspondent. As many as 69 members of what Myanmar's government has described as a Rohingya militant group and 17 security forces have been killed in a recent escalation of fighting in northwestern Arakan State, the army said on Tuesday. The death toll announced in the state-owned Global New Light of Myanmar Daily exceeded that reported by state media over the weekend, demonstrating the scale of the largest escalation of the conflict since violence erupted a month ago. Diplomats and observers have held out hope that the military would swiftly conclude its clearance operation in the troubled north of Arakan, but the recent wave of killing has cast a doubt over such prospect. The violence is the most serious since hundreds were killed in a communal clashes in Arakan in 2012. It has sharpened the tension between Nobel Peace Prize winner Aung San Suu Kyi's 6-month-old civilian and administration and the army, which ruled for decades and retains key powers, including control of ministries responsible for security. Soldiers have moved into the area along Myanmar's frontier, with Bangladesh responding to coordinated attacks on 3 border posts on October 9 that killed 9 police officers. They have looked down the area where the vast majority of residents are Rohingyas, shutting out 8 workers and independent observers, and conducted sweeps of villages. A series of skirmishes and strikes during the 6 days to Monday had led to the deaths of 69 violent strikes and the arrest of 234, the military's True News information team said. 10 policemen and 7 soldiers died in the clashes. It added the announcement takes to 102 the tally of deaths of suspected Rohingya attackers since October 9th, while the security forces told stand at 32. Reuters has estimated from reported by state-owned media. Myanmar's 1.1 million Rohingyas are the majority in northern Rakhine but are denied citizenship and regarded as illegal immigrants from neighboring Bangladesh. They face several travel restrictions. Resident and right advocates have accused security forces of summary execution, rapes, and setting fire to homes in the recent violence. The government and army rejected the accusation, blaming the violent attackers for setting fires to homes. Rohingya right advocates have distributed online video images of what they said were civilian casualties of the attacks, urging the international community to investigate. Authorities have denied independent journalists access to the area, so Reuters has been unable to independently verify either the military accounts or the video clip. So this is today from Arakan Press Network English News Service. I'm your host Sajid Jalal saying Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for